Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Brad Lee is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat, as you would expect. But today it's a real treat. Michael Hayes, what's happening?
How's it doing, Brad? Good to meet you.
Dude, it's if I was any better, I'd be Michael Hayes with the Inwith Corporation. If I was any better, I'd be in with you.
That's Inwith, begin with. It's a good name, isn't it? Inwith.
Yeah, Inwith. Folks, you guys are probably going to be like, who the fuck is Michael Hayes with Inwith? Or some of you might be like real tech savvy. You follow Silicon Valley. And by the way, it ain't Silicon Valley. A lot of people out there talking about Silicon Valley. No, silicone's in the titties and the booties. And Silicon is where the developers are and, you know, all the big companies and tech firms and what have you.
Right.
Would that be accurate?
Well, it's not the only place in the world that's going on. There's a lot of it going on.
But it's not Silicon Valley, correct?
No, you're right. It's not Silicon
Valley.
Like the silicon chip.
Yeah. Now,
right.
I just say Silicon, not that you're from there. You're actually from our friendly neighborhood north, Utah's Silicon Valley. What do you call it up there?
Well, they call it in Utah Silicon Slopes.
Silicon Slopes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of programming going on up there too.
Oh, hell yeah. There's a huge education base up there with the colleges and.
Well, you know how I can expect that nobody's heard of you? Because you didn't even have an Instagram till 5 seconds ago. But now you do. So if folks, you guys want to follow some interesting shit, you better go stop what you're doing and follow his Instagram right now. What is it, Riedel?
At Inwith Corp.
At Inwith Corp.
And on Twitter at Inwith.
And on Twitter. They want you to follow them on Twitter as well. They're only on Twitter. That's where I guess where all the intellects go.
Well, we want to have as many.
Like they don't want any tomfoolery. It's straight business.
We want to have as many followers as you.
Well, then you got to get on Instagram to start with.
You've got
right?
like what, 500,000
And you better
followers?
start getting TikTok now. You better get TikTok now. Dave don't know how. Shit, you better get a new social media director. Huh?
David does a great job. David Riedel, he does an awesome job. He's a good guy.
Dude,
so we're fine with
There ain't
him.
nobody better in this world than old Riedel.
He's a go-getter. I like him.
You ain't, dude, I'm telling, little do you know. Riedel, best dude ever. But let me ask you this. You're the CEO of Inwith Corp, which basically specializes in disruption. You disrupt the disruption.
We want to disrupt the disruption, yeah. That's right.
That's
we're into
and by the way, only because you gave me a sneak peek of these kick-ass lenses we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
That I know that you're like a tech.
Yeah.
Tech. I think it's the future, basically what you're talking about. I can almost promise that everything you said, I agree with 1,000%. Like, of course it's going to happen. Folks, this guy's got like a lens or a company. Here, I'll let you explain it so I don't slaughter it, but it's cool, like bionic shit.
Yeah. Well, basically, we've about 5 years ago, we started experimenting in what's called hydrogel for contact lenses. And a soft contact lens, you know, like the kind that are worn by millions every day around the world, is made out of what's called hydrogel material. It's very highly hydrated so that it's comfortable on the eye and it's oxygenated. And basically, it's the material that, but when we put smart technology into that for the purpose of, you know, supervision capability, focusing, AR applications in the future here, the near future, we'll have the ability for people to adapt to it quickly because it's a soft lens that they're used to. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that is the critical, the high order for accomplishing an AR contact lens that can really succeed in the marketplace is that it's got to be comfortable, it's got to be safe, and people are used to the kind of lens that it is. And that's what we've done. We own the patent on what we call predefined space in silicon hydrogel and hydrogel materials. Hydrogel, just in case you don't know what that is, a lot of people won't know what that is, but it's what contact lenses are made of, what soft contact lenses are made of. It's very close to human tissue. It's about 70% water. and it's a lattice of man-made materials, very much like tissue, like I said.
It's a lattice.
So
See, you got that word down, don't you?
Yeah, and in the
old Michael Hayes,
in the
CEO of Inwith, has one slick story. I can tell you that. We're going to get into it too. So don't be turning off your dial just because you just heard the word lattice out of nowhere. We're just getting started. Yeah. Talk about augmented reality for a minute.
Well, augmented reality is something that's it's one of the more exciting things that's out there now in the zeitgeist. Oculus and virtual reality headsets. It's really taking off. There's a cult following with a lot of this stuff, but the ultimate holy grail of this technology is to be able to put it into discrete applications where you're not having to wear some bulky heavy thing. You've got it actually on your eyes and in your eyes, and there will always be glasses that are augmented, like Apple's working on some augmented glasses.
Yeah, but those are all right. Okay, like for example, if you don't have your lenses in, then yes, you throw on your glasses real quick. And if somebody's worried about lenses, well then maybe they'd prefer, but you're going to have the market share. Everybody wants augmented eyesight.
Well, the thing is, aside from augmented reality, the actual consumer electronics cool thing where you're walking down the street and you can see things appearing that other people can't if they don't have the lenses on. Aside from that, there is a very practical and real application for this technology, which is the ability to mechanically focus the lens to overcome your eyes' weaknesses.
Which means you don't need glasses anymore.
It can disrupt the glasses, especially the multifocal business.
Definitely the reader business.
For instance,
that's what I need. I need readers. You know why? I went to the eye doctor. I'm 51. I go to the eye doctor. I'm like, dude, I'm starting to hold menus out here and shit.
There you go.
I need something's going wrong. Maybe I need glasses.
It's called presbyopia.
Yep. Did a whole eye test. I'm like, he says, you got 20/20. And I'm like, I can't see shit. And he says, no, that's 20/20, but whatever you just said. He said, basically your lens is hardened and you can't do that anymore.
You have what's called a crystalline lens in your eye. When you're young, it's perfectly supple and it's clean and it's clear, and it's able to. It's like a little bag of gel that can be supple. But as you grow older, that gets harder, and the muscle that surrounds that is called a ciliary body. The ciliary body still works as hard as it ever did as you grow older, but the little lens becomes less and less pliable. So when you're in a situation where you're trying to focus closely, that ciliary body still trying to do, the muscle still trying to do things, but the lens is not cooperating.
Yes.
Just to keep it simple.
Yes.
And so that's called presbyopia. And 100% of people
got it.
Yeah. Well, everybody over 40 pretty much has it in one degree or another.
Hey,
but that's what we're trying to, with this technology, this lens that you just looked at a few minutes ago with the electronic circuit in it, that's actually a Bausch and Lomb ultra multifocal lens that it's in. It's a brand name lens by Bausch and Lomb that we put it in. It's not on the market. This is something that's been done in the lab, and to prove the ability to put the circuitry into these lenses.
And that ring would just blend in with your eye color.
You wouldn't even be able to see it. Essentially
because it's right where your eye color would be if that was on your eyeball.
Yeah, that's the beauty of contact lenses, is the ultimate discrete augmented vision of the future.
Sure, that's why, dude, you ain't got to tell me twice. What are you talking about? Like, dude, when's your shit go public?
Well, we're hoping we're not going to get specific on the months, but it's months ahead. It's not years and years. It's we're hoping to be at CES next year with something that we can show off, much like what we've shown you here, to show that this is actually what we call a platform. What we've created and what Inwith has created here with this technology, and then being able to put it into brand name lenses. It's a platform for perhaps hundreds of potential applications, not just in contact lenses. This technology also, the ability to put circuitry and microchips and display into hydrogels actually is just the beginning of where it can be used.
It can be used in the condom industry.
Well, that's a potential application. I mean, the human body, you have a home, I'm sure you have your home decked out with smart technology. You can get on your phone.
I'm like Tony Stark, bro.
Yeah, you can lock your doors.
Like when you look at me, just trust. I'm just like Tony, dude.
Yeah, you know what's going on in your home 24/7, right?
Right now.
You can do it.
Dude, I'll have my suit come get me.
Okay. That's your soup. Your soup will come. Your suit or your soup.
My suit.
Your
Bro.
suit.
Like I said,
Your
Tony
suit will
Stark.
come pick you up like Uber.
Go watch Iron Man.
I'm
I'm Tony Stark.
Can I get some water? I need some water.
Including the suit. Someone will bring it in. I'm sure someone heard that. We're fancy. We've got a control.
Thank you, man.
Listening.
So the point
Oh,
of
you just gave him yours? That's coronavirus. That's coronavirus.
You've been to the wet markets. I don't want this.
Have you gone to China? Weren't you there once?
No, I bypassed my flight and I didn't go there, but I was supposed to.
I was supposed to go. Well, it was way before, so I wouldn't have been caught in it. But I was supposed to go to some place in China because I want to get going with some import-export type stuff. You can go over to China, dude, see so many products that aren't here, but are really cool products. You just go to the factory, make a little deal with them. They want to know you're serious. Okay, so give them a little upfront. They give you exclusive rights from that factory to the United States, and boom, you got an import business, cuz.
That's what's been going on for the last 30 years.
I know, but it's awesome. Like, that's what I was going to go over there for. It's like, dude, I want something cool over here. But, dude, now I'm not going over there until the whole thing blows over.
Dude, you're in the hottest business there is right now in terms of media. You're in the cutting edge of what's going on with media right now.
Right now, media.
Podcasting.
Interactivity.
Who
else does
I was a
interactivity?
DJ back
Not
in the
many.
90s on a rock station. And we were doing this kind of stuff where you talk, and the listeners hated it because they wanted to hear music, but we would sit there and banter and talk like Howard Stern, and it's fun to talk. It's fun to do bits and things, but that's now what's coming out big time with your end of the business, and people are doing well.
It's funny that you say that because, like, I don't listen to Joe Rogan's full stuff only because it's 4 hours long. I don't have 4 hours to listen, but I've obviously listened to a little bit of it. He does pretty much shoot the shit like I do too, right? Well, again, he's the number one in the whole wide world. So that shows you that the format works because, but I think the conversation has to be interesting.
Yeah.
So I try to bring on people. And again, I brought on someone who literally lives on the back of his, I think he said, somebody's house, porch, couch, meaning you can stay in the couch on the porch. And I'm like, let's get you on dropping bombs. I want to ask you some questions. Well, because sometimes it's more important to learn what not to do than it is to learn what to do. Because again, what to do could be a million ways. There's a million ways to skin a cat, dude. But there's a whole bunch of things that was like, don't do this. Shit.
The thing that pisses me off about Rogan though is he sits there and he lights up blunts on his podcast, and he does things that I feel are, he shouldn't, there's a lot of people that watch him. There's a lot of kids that watch him. I don't know if he does it as much as he used to, but
what, smoke weed?
Smokes weed right on the damn podcast, which I'm like, you shouldn't be encouraging that, man. It's not that I obviously realize that it's something a lot of people do, and it's not the end of the world for those people. But I think that, it's something that a podcast
He
guy
should be responsible.
Well, I just think it's stupid. It's a gateway, I believe, to.
Well, technically, it's the same thing with cussing. I've recently discovered that, dropping the F-bombs out of my vocabulary couldn't hurt me. It's not like someone's going to say, oh, man, I loved what he was saying, but now that he stopped saying fuck, I don't like what he's saying anymore.
Well, fuck's an easy word, isn't it?
I know, but you can get rid of those because why? It's more intelligent not to say the word than to say the word. Why? Well, because you may not offend everybody, but you will offend some. So if you just didn't say the word, you're not going to offend people because you didn't say it. You're going to offend people because you did. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if I just didn't say it, if I restrained from profanity, well, then people wouldn't be offended that I'm not cussing. They will be offended if I do, though, possibly. Right. So the wise decision, the intelligent decision would be just don't say it at all. It's the same thing. Smoking weed, I don't care if someone smoked weed personally. You know why? If my kid said, hey, I'm going to be an alcoholic or I'm going to be a pothead, you pick. I'm picking pothead every day.
Well, I had a niece that passed away at 25 because she got into pot early in her life, and then it led to other things, and it led to bad decisions, and she ended up dying because of this other stuff that she was using.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily the weed, was it?
But it's the starting point. It's where the bad decisions started.
True.
Hooking up with friends that did that.
There
shit.
you go. Now you're talking.
Yeah. See,
And again, you could trace it back to parenting too. Why? Well, dude, I know good parents sometimes that produce a little hell child that's like rebellious. And then I know terrible parents that produce a freaking straight A student. So it's like sometimes the individual that's responsible, and you can't really do nothing. All you can do is recognize that it's happening and try to intervene.
well, as parents, I'm a parent of 3 daughters, and you can't, when they become adult, you literally by law you can't make decisions for them. You can't kidnap them. You can't physically restrain them from doing things. So in this circumstance with my niece, she was an adult. She's 25. But I don't want to digress on that too much.
It's still sad, but my question,
it's this is where I get with Rogan is the irresponsibility of being so lackadaisical with the shit on the air, and then
it's irresponsible.
He even got Elon Musk to light up a blunt on, and then Elon Musk almost lost his position because his shareholders were like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?
Like, are you stupid for doing that?" But again, are you stupid because you did it publicly? Yeah. That's the question. Because quite frankly, I know a lot of people that didn't care that he did it. And then obviously there's a whole bunch of people that did care.
No, that's the thing. I'm not saying I give Rogan his due on if he wants to smoke pot or Musk or anybody. I don't give a shit about that. I drink alcohol. I don't smoke.
Would you rather your kid be a pothead or an alcoholic?
Well, I think
if you had to choose,
that's a tough choice. Because
no, it isn't, dude. Alcoholic can crash cars, can get blackout drunk and kill people, can get blackout drunk and hurt all kinds of people, and it happens all the time. Can end up in jail. Never is going to have a normal life. A bad alcoholic is a bad situation. Dude, a bad pothead, you got to motivate them to get off your couch and stop eating Fruit Loops. Yeah. They might get a little fatter than normal. But I've never seen a pothead get like obnoxiously out of control.
I take your point on that. I agree with that. I guess I'm just saying that
and I've been the alcoholic that's obnoxiously out of control like 1,000 times. Where I wake up, I'm like, son of a bitch, what the frick happened?
Look, if they're I'm all for them legalizing. It's like how certain states are now taking upon themselves, like Nevada.
Well, that's revenue.
Yeah, that's fine. But you know what pisses me off is that there's states where it's still illegal, and you got people sitting in jail for possession and dealing. Yet in other states, there's people literally partying in the street with the shit. Yeah. So I'm like, if you're gonna have it legal somewhere, do it all across the board, or nothing at all.
Now, see, again, I don't agree with that either. Like, hey, dude, let the state you live in decide.
No,
like
that's
if your little state and everybody in it doesn't want weed legal, good. Outlaw it on yourselves and quit smoking it and catch anybody who is and throw them in jail. But if you're in that city and you don't agree, well, then move to the next city that allows it.
Hey, you know what? To each their own. If they want to smoke pot, I'm not sitting here judging. I don't give a shit about that. But there is responsibility though when you're when you're in the media.
Yes,
and I don't want this to be a bash on Rogan, because I actually think he's very funny and he's a very talented guy.
Plus, dude, you want on his podcast more than mine. If old Rogan puts you on, whoo! And by the way, Rogan might listen to this shit. You know why? Because I'm a top-rated motherfucking podcast too. And guess what?
Of course,
he don't know I ain't listening to him. But, on occasion, because again, like, when Elon Musk smoked a blunt on a show, I wanted to hear it, but I only could hear like 20 minutes because that's how long it takes me to get where I'm going. And then when I get back in, dude, I don't need to hear anymore.
Right.
He probably does that to mine. Do you have a podcast?
No.
Joe Rogan probably doesn't listen to mine. I'm fucking with you. You're safe. But you want on his podcast.
Well, I would certainly not turn it down, but
But he might spark up a joint.
Well, if he does, good. Good for him.
You just said he's a bastard for doing something.
Well, I just, that's my opinion. I think that he should not. But that's, again, not to get off on that too much.
Here, I want to go back, because here's the funny thing. I keep getting people hating on my podcast for one reason. Like, everyone loves except one thing they keep bitching about. And not some. But, I don't like it. They say, dude, let the motherfucker talk. And I always go, yeah, but, and they're like, dude, just let him talk. Like, you just cut him off right in the middle. So let's go back and continue from the lattice conversation. Because I think lattice, when you threw out that fancy word, that's where I interrupted. And now we're off talking about frickin'
whatever.
I know, but I want to talk about these fucking lenses.
Okay. Well, when I use the word lattice, I'm talking about the, literally the makeup of hydrogel. It's called a monomer. It actually in the process of molding it, it expands up to 200+%, and then it shrinks back. So it's a very challenging substance material to be able to put electronics in. So when you design and you create new art, new patents to do that, through experimentation, trial and error, the ability to accommodate that really rigorous environment while that is being made, and have the electronics and the circuitry still survive that process, that's what our patent is. And that's why we're able to put this stuff in that material. And that material happens to be very similar in behavior to human tissue. It passes through oxygen, passes through water. So it's the birth of potentially, putting electronics, we call it smart biology. The former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, believes, he's been public about that, he believes the next big thing, and I agree with him 100%, beyond the smartphone. The smartphone just came out in 2007 to 2008, right? Apple, 2007, Android, 2008. That's 12 years that's existed in our lives, and look how it's changed it. The whole world is at your fingertips. So the next...
You know what's funny when people say the whole world? The whole world. You know what they really mean? Google. Google is the master of them all. I was just saying earlier, like, dude, Elon Musk, he invented PayPal, which is a convenient little way to exchange some money, and that's great. Got $1 trillion when he sold it, and freaking now he's, playing billionaire, which I would too be. Like, he's trying to invent and solve problems with buttload of money. I would too be.
Sure.
So I like Elon for that reason. Like, cool. Like, dude, I'd shut up if he was around. I'm listening. I admire him. I'm not bagging on him. But dude, whoever fucking invented Google's the smartest son of a bitch I can think of. Google.
Well, started out as a search engine, and then they just started making ungodly money because of the growth of the internet from the mid 90s on. There were other search engines.
I know, but Google, dude, Google is worldwide. Every time you look, Google controls what you see. So when you say the world's at your fingertips, Google's at your motherfucking fingertips.
It's their version of the world, right?
I know, but like, dude, that's what's at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah. Well,
the internet.
If you trust Google,
world.
If you trust that Google's offering you, and this is where we get into politics, because, like the Republicans versus the Democrats, they both think that Google, Facebook are, manipulating data to favor one party or the other. So you get into this, what is the actual reality of the internet, and what, like you said, what is Google's world? And are they the grand, are we literally in 1984 where they're controlling our reality? But I mean, let's just assume that it's all above board and that their intentions are good for the sake of the argument of what our business is, which is the ability to put that technology now into the thing I was going to get to earlier when I was asking you about your home, the smart home, was that the body...
It's smart home until I walk in.
And then it becomes dumb home?
Yes.
So the future is
usually that's opposite for everybody. They have a dumb home until they walk in, and now I got the opposite.
The future of the human body is like your home is now.
Yeah.
You're going to in real time be able to look at your mobile phone and literally see your blood panel work.
Yep.
Early detection of cancers.
Love it.
Early detection of viruses. You're going to have full awareness of your organ functions, your everything that you would normally go and get a test at the doctor and wait hours or days for, you'll be able to get instantly in the near future, in the next years coming. And that's one of the sweet spots for us with this hydrogel technology, with computer technology mixed in, is the ability to do micro implants, that have, like you saw the contact lens, right? Well, now downsize that by a factor of maybe 10 or 20, and you have a sensor. You have, a receptor, micro receptor, plus a transducer, plus a detector, and these are all wrapped.
Which now all you need is a flux capacitor,
right? And
you got time travel,
right? And you're Michael.
See, right now someone's
Fox.
like, see, someone right now is watching us going, see, let him fucking talk. He was about to keep going.
So having that downsized into a micro implant that can be injected with and stay in your arm or, in the interstitial fluids of your under your, subcutaneous layers in the interstitial fluid, which has biomarkers.
But is it still a lattice at this point?
Well, the hydrogel, like the contact lens that surrounds it, is the biocompatible material that houses the transducers and the detector, the digital detector, the communication device, the antenna, the things that will communicate out to your mobile phone to let you know you're getting a virus before you even feel the symptoms.
You get like a note. You get like a warning.
That's what we're talking about. It's like having a smoke detector or a carbon monoxide detector in your home.
Yeah, but when? God darn it, I want something like that now.
Well, you just looked at the first versions of that, the ability to put circuitry into hydrogel. That's the beginnings of it.
Yeah, because right now, if you said, dude, swallow this, hook it up with your app, and it'll tell you your heart rate, sleep rate, bic rate. It'll tell you your test levels in real time. It'll tell you, and by the way, if someone's listening to this going, shit, that's a great idea. Well, hell yeah, it's a great idea.
Well, in the future, it's just like with the coronavirus right now. In the near future, and I say near future, I mean over the like we were just saying, smartphones have existed literally just the last 10, 12 years in our lives as a mainstay, right? The actual first smartphone was in 1992. IBM had a version of a smartphone, but the phones that have taken off and have become a part of our lives, ubiquitous, are the Android and of course the iPhone, the iOS platforms. So this platform here that we've invented, the ability to put circuitry into biocompatible hydrogels and then mold them into implantable devices, wearable devices on the eye.
Consumable?
Possibly. Consumable and digestible.
Inhalable?
You know what? You can get off into all kinds of potentials.
Like, dude, literally, you could make it to where you walk into a bar and you get in the proximity of someone who has STD, you can have an upgrade for STD alert scanning of other people.
Well, just like with
I walk into a bar and it's like beep beep beep. It says right there, dude, gonorrhea, don't touch that one. Yeah. Why? Well, because we're monitoring the blood in her and her biome. By the way, not just her blood. Okay, we're doing 24/7 real-time blood panels in real time, as well as microbiome. Literally microbiome management, because if you feed your microbiome correctly, right, supposedly that'll end all illness. If you just feed your microbiome correctly.
Look, I firmly believe that the stuff that we're working on here, combined with others that are out there working in this area, the ability to early detect disease in all forms, to detect all of your vital, just like your car. Detect all of your vital fluids and all your functions in real time and have early warning. That will be just like with the coronavirus right now. Instead of criticizing the government for why they don't have enough test kits already, everyone will have a test kit internalized. Wearables, smart wearables, Apple Watch, Fitbit, whatever you want to say, they're the thing right now. But the thing of the future is internal wearables. Implants. There's a term for it, biohacking of the body, biohacking, which is kind of a negative sounding term, but it's already got a little bit of a cult following going out there. People are doing things like putting chips in their fingers and various shit like that. But
for what, the doors and stuff, or alarm systems and stuff?
No, they're just, people are, the people who like to just do shit to themselves, put chips in them just to prove that they can put a chip in their finger and let it heal over. But the stuff we're working on is the actual real practical, marketable, commercializable version of that kind of stuff. The ability to...
Yeah, but when?
I think that you're going to see, like with our technology, that's one of the things we're doing right now as a platform is welcoming potential partners, potential companies that want to get with us to develop new devices for implants or contact lenses. Like I said, these lenses are in Bausch and Lomb. Bausch and Lomb makes one of the best contact lenses on the market, the best multifocal, called the Ultra. That's what you just saw.
Utilizing hydrogel.
It's a silicone hydrogel contact lens, just like you can buy off the shelf right now. Our technology is actually in that lens right now, a Bausch and Lomb lens. And
now, is there a machine somewhere that would turn that on?
When this is commercialized, the versions of this, applications of this, there will be a capacitor, a battery. In the lens itself, there will be communication between the smartphone and the lens, and the ability to focus your vision using your mobile phone, being able to focus your eyes to the focus that you want them to be at any given situation mechanically through this type of technology. That's what's coming. That's the stuff that's coming. And it's coming soon. You got to give it a little bit of time, but these things, this platform that we just developed is the beginning of that. There's some other companies out there that are trying to get into the space, but we're the ones that own the patent on the hydrogel, putting the circuitry into hydrogels. It's called, our patent is called the predefined space. So it's very, we own the patent on the smart contact lens case, which you when you have smart contact lenses in the future, which I know you will, you put it in the smart case. Overnight, it charges your contact lenses through the fluid of the lens. We own that patent. We own the patent on
as well as sterilizes.
Yeah, because contact lenses,
pollutants,
they still have to be sterilized, just like the lenses of today. So, but it's the exciting future is this ability to add longevity to the human experience by early detection, early warning of biomarkers, and being able to have that be something that's accessible 24/7.
So who figured this out? Like, let's go back a little bit. Where was Michael Hayes at 18?
Graduated from high school, going to college.
Which one?
University of Utah.
You've been in Utah your whole life.
Yeah.
So you started going to college. Who figured this out? This whole technology.
Well, I've been in the health and wellness business for about 18 years now. I started off, quite a long time ago doing, I was in the business of chelation therapy and some other things. And then, back in 2011, 2012, I decided to get into the medical device field. And a guy that I played tennis with named Dr. At the time, I didn't know that he was a doctor, but his name's David Marcus, one of the smartest scientists on the face of the planet right now in terms of microelectrical mechanical systems. He's learned, he's a PhD, learned from the father of microelectrical mechanical systems. He's
Nikola Tesla?
No, it's another guy, but he's University of Minnesota. But David has been involved with the development at a very high level with some very high government agencies as well as Raytheon and others, and he specializes in this. So anyway, I played tennis with this guy years ago, and then he used to string my tennis rackets, and so we hit it off. And a few years later, we found out that he had moved to California. He was working, in California. We both hooked up again, and I was in the business of medical devices, and he was saying that he was interested in getting into that. So we got into that, and to make a boring long story short, we started looking into the areas of how we could solve problems with macular degeneration, retinitis pigmentosa. Steve Wynn here in.
Yeah, but how did you know about all that shit? Like, it ain't every day I'm sitting at a bar and someone's like, "Dude, I'm really concerned. Why?" And we got to solve this maculose regeneration and this melanoma coparoma. What'd you say?
Macular degeneration. It's called AMD, age-related macular degeneration.
Yeah. So what happened there that got you interested in that? Just because you were selling medical devices?
Well, I was just interested in the medical field because that's the business I was in. But on a higher level, my wife's grandmother suffered from it. She was like 90 years old. You can't see in front of you. It's like you can see peripherally, but you can't see right in front of you. So you can't focus. And the opposite of that is retinitis pigmentosa, where you can only see a tunnel, like a tube, and your periphery's gone. So when you heard about Steve Wynn knocking one of his $200 million paintings with his elbow and putting a hole in it, it's because he had that and he couldn't see side to side, right? So anyway, the fact that my wife, her grandmother had this horrible thing, we were toying around with how could we possibly solve that problem? So Dr. Marcus, we got talking about it, and he started coming up with ideas for how we might be able to, in a contact lens, utilize piezoelectric energy to send low intensity pulse ultrasound to the cells of the eye to regenerate, because there's been a lot of science in that area that's shown efficacy for regeneration of cells, right? And that area is very hot because helping to regenerate the receptors in your retina that die off as a result of these diseases. So anyway, that led to us thinking, well, how can we put power in a contact lens? What can we do? And then he started thinking about that. And he says, well, we could do piezoelectric energy harvesting in a contact lens, meaning that the movement of the eye, the blinking of the eye, can actually power the contact lens with the vibration of that. So we filed that patent. And then that got the attention of some multi-billion-dollar companies who wanted us to come in because they had ideas in other areas of contact lenses that they wanted us to do. So that's what got us in the door with the big companies, and we started developing this stuff. So now fast forward to here. Now we have several patents in the area, and we own the main patent for putting the circuitry in the contact lenses, as we've discussed here, for applications like augmented reality and focus capabilities. In the future, you'll be able to be at a night's game and use your phone to be able to zoom your eyes, be able to like zoom in on a player you want to watch or see something close up. There's so many potential capabilities with advanced optics that can come from mechanical systems like this in your eyes. And it's a brave new world when it comes to biology. It's smart biology.
So normally dropping bombs is about challenges, shit like that, how people got past them, what to avoid. I guess you could call it almost like a business and life podcast. So did you have any troubles? I mean, because really, you're still creating all of this. I would say within 3 to 5 years, if all of that, like all of the things you're describing are actually reality, there'd be billions and zillions being purchased. Which obviously you would have something to do with if you own the patent, because obviously someone would have to license it from you, some way pay you for it.
Yeah, we're looking for people to develop on our platform, to develop with us and partner. And, we're looking for all kinds of things like that. If people want to reach us, they can drop us a line at info@inwithcorp.com.
Boom.
We're open to all of these things. But, we're working with some very big companies right now as we speak that are wanting to develop on the platform. And so it is a bright future. But, as far as challenges, there's when you file patents, that's a bitch of a process, because it's like 2 to 3 years from the moment you realize that you have something new that no one else has thought of. Or
so now that you're good at it, because you've filed 1 million patents, what are 3 things someone should never do when filing a patent?
Well, oh boy, one of the things you should never do.
Or always do, because sometimes, again, it's not what you do, it's what you don't do that matters. And then there's some times where it doesn't matter what you don't do, it's what you do that matters. So in this case, what 3 helpful things, if I'm going to go file a patent tomorrow, would you go, dude, I've done 100 of those and watch out for this, this, and this?
Well, the first thing is you've got to know your shit as far as what the area that you're in, the invention that you make. You have to already have a good idea of the landscape in that field and realize that you have truly come up with new art. It's called art in the business. It's not, people say invention, but it's called art. So you've got to know your stuff, and you got to know that what you're doing is relatively new. And then the next thing you've got to do is you've got to file that initial patent as soon as possible once you realize that, to get it into writing and get it on the radar of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. And you have a year for that first patent before it goes public. And when they start to examine it, they will look at all of the other art, all the other patents in the world that exist that are potentially similar to what you've filed. And the examiner will most likely deny you right off the bat, because they'll find something that they think is similar to what you've done. But then the third thing that you need to do is you need to be a good educator, to be able to educate that patent examiner on your technology and why it is different than what exists currently. And these are the things, if you just want to simplify it into 3 things, those are the 3 things that we've done successfully. And we've gotten every single patent we filed thus far. So but that is a long process doing that.
Do you offer that at all?
Do we offer?
patent servicing. Like, in other words, I have an idea, you patent it for me. Why? Because you already got it down. You already know the people.
I suppose we could do that, but we haven't gotten into that. We've just been focusing on our own patents and keeping it in-house, what we do. But
well, I'm just always trying to find value for the bomb squad. And right now I'm thinking, man, if I was listening to this, obviously I don't know what I'm going to do with, circuitry and hydrogels. And, that's obviously nanotechnology. And wow, like I'm not doing anything. But I might be out there doing $150. Can I invest?
But you could think, I mean, a guy like you
how
could
does the bomb squad benefit is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, maybe they can invest. Maybe if they go down and swoop up all the Bausch and Lomb things, they'll be worth more. Like, what's the...
Well, if they want to, I mean, the thing is if anybody has an idea, like all the stuff that I've just dropped out there as far as the, potential body uses, technologies and uses and applications, it's just like the smartphone in the last 12 years. How many applications are now on an iPhone? Mm-hmm. It started out zero. It was basically, it started out as an iPod when Apple first came out, and then Steve Jobs decided to turn that into, he wanted to meld that with the phone. And then I've read where he never really truly envisioned that there would be 1 million apps. He knew they built that capability into the operating system, but I don't know that was his real vision at the beginning, was where we're at now, which is 1 million apps, 1 billion apps, whatever it is now. But same thing with this, with smart biology. I believe that we're literally at that point. We're literally 2007, 2008 with the iPhone right now with smart biology. Over the next 3, 5, 10 years, you're going to see applications like the smart contact lenses, the smart body sensors communicating with mobile devices. And there's going to be a lot of different applications that come out of that that I can't even think of right now. And really where a lot of the applications are going to come from is from scientists, someone hearing this that's over in the Netherlands or Germany or in the United States that is at a high level knowledge of biomarker science, the ability, like, detecting blood chemistry, cancers, these kinds of things. A light bulb might go off in his mind and say, well, I'd like to talk to Inwith about putting my technology that I've patented for this particular biomarker that I've discovered into one of their hydrogel devices and implant it so that it can sense that for these particular patients. So there'll be a lot of niches that are potential. So it literally can be many, many, potentially hundreds of applications, because when you think about science, how many hundreds and thousands of applications are there in solving health conditions and so forth? It's endless.
Yeah, unlimited. So tell me how you thought it up, or like who figured it out? Why does Inwith Corporation have the technology that no one else could figure out?
Well, because we were lucky, fortuitous in the sense that that energy harvesting thing that I was telling you about earlier with the macular degeneration. That was essentially an application that we were thinking about doing.
Which is blinking power.
Yeah, which is the ability to power a smart contact lens utilizing the vibration and movement of the human eye, which is a free source of power.
But did you ever do that? Was it ever like, hey, look, this does that?
Yeah, we have a sensor. It's called a Piezo electric sensor that actually can create, the estimate is a watt of power per day.
Just from blinking?
an array in a lens from blinking power. That's just one way to power a lens.
What converts it?
Well, the power, the energy is electrically transferred into a capacitor, which then powers the lens. So it's essentially a free power source for a contact lens. But there's also other alternatives. So we own that patent, which is called the energy harvesting. We call it an energy harvesting patent. It's the U.S. patent for that. But there's other ways to power a lens. For instance, the smart contact lens case that we also own the patent on, where you can transfer the energy from an AC, from your wall into the case, and then that case charges your smart contact lens overnight. That's the other way that you can power contact. So we filed.
You wouldn't want that one, not compared to the other one.
You mean compared to the energy harvesting?
Yeah.
Well, you have to have a smart case. You have to have a case anyway for your lenses. So
Why
not have? Well, because they have to. You take them out overnight. You don't sleep with your lenses in, right? If you're
well, again, I mean, they sound like bionic lenses. Maybe you can sleep in these.
Well, you don't want.
I don't know. You're inventing them, bro. I'm just giving you good ideas.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
like if I didn't have to take them out, that'd be better.
Well, you kind of with contact lenses, you need to take them out.
Like you don't even need TV anymore. Shut your eyes and you got a big screen, bigger than you've ever seen. The whole damn big screen. You can see it as clear as if you open your eyes.
You know what you're talking about? You're talking about an actual artificial eye of the future, where your eyes literally are completely artificial, and that's probably in the.
I'd get them plugged in right now, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, this is the short-term solution to what we're already used to. Contact lenses, they're highly successful. We know the materials that work, and then the ability to put electronic applications into those. You pop them out overnight, put them on in the morning, just like your mobile phone, you charge it at night. This is the future of the contact lens.
Well, I would believe that no matter what. Why? Well, because if you just said right now, Brad, these are, $90,000 a pair. But when you put them in, just like you do contacts, you put them in, your blinks power it, don't worry about how they work. They just work. You put them in, you open your eyes, and all of a sudden you see, and now I see your name. It Googled your ass just by facial recognition.
Yeah.
So now whoever I look at, Riedel. Then it could say, AKA Riedel. But at the end of the day, I could see that about him. And if I wanted to, especially if it was connected somehow to my brainwaves, and now I could be like, look up Facebook page. Oh, Instagram handle. You don't have to talk about that anymore. I already know what his shit is. I can see that he's got 321 followers or 321 million. I can probably check his bank account. I can run his credit report. I can see how many properties this guy has. I'm looking at him. Hey, how you doing? It's David Riedel. Yep. I know who you fucking are. And then all of a sudden I'm looking, and all I'm doing is looking at you. The advantage is you don't have these in. So now you don't know who I am, but I know who you are.
See, you're a thinker. You know why? Because, we should hire you because you're thinking of applications right now in real time as we speak. And this is what I'm talking about. There's thousands of people out there that are going to listen to this that might have these ideas too.
Millions. Dude,
Millions.
I think there's 7.8 billion people that listen to the Dropping Bombs podcast. There's 16 people in Somalia.
Well,
I can't find them. I don't know what they're doing. I think we should send out a search party.
There you go.
But my goal is that all people on earth hear Dropping Bombs. So you guys got to share this out, or it's not gonna work.
But you're thinking of ideas right as we speak. The idea of
that's because they're not hard to think of.
Right. I mean,
dude, are you kidding me? Like, dude, that's why I keep saying, if your shit works, like, dude, I want them right now. I want to invest. I want to freaking figure them out with you. Like, how do I get involved? Like, how do these Bomb Squad listeners? I guarantee you, because I know the Bomb Squad. There's people right now going, why don't you do that? And then there's going to be people going, yeah, but da-da-da. Dude, I'm telling you, you're going to get hit up on that Insta page. What's the Insta page? Inwith Corp. @ Inwith Corp.
On Twitter.
Bomb Squad. Go ask them a bunch of questions. I'm sure I got some smarty pantses that are also going to argue and tell you why that it's never going to work. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to get bombed by the Bomb Squad because, dude, it's just too cool of an application. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, the thing is that literally walking up and down the street through any major city or whatnot, the future is that whether you're wearing glasses that have this capability or you're wearing contact lenses.
Contacts, dude.
Well, I agree with you. That's why we're in it.
And then you want some more inventions? Here, what if you could literally be having sex with your spouse and change who it is? Augmented
virtual reality.
Yeah, like my fucking contacts is showing me someone completely different, but I can feel what I feel.
Well, you could
so basically you could be doing anybody you wanted to with those lenses.
Maybe Oculus has that right now. I don't know.
No, they don't. And if we did, everybody would know about it. Because everybody would want something like that, right? Not necessarily everybody, but you get my point. Like the sex industry is a freaking dirty, rotten underbelly of America. But guess what? There's all trillion people in there. There's a website that's straight for cheating. Like, hey, if you want a discreet affair, come to Ashley Madison.
Yeah. Every technology has its good side and its dark side, just like the internet. So there's the dark side, there's the good side.
But a lens, dude, all I can picture now is like internet on your eyes. Right now, I don't even need, like, I could be listening to you and checking my email. You wouldn't even know it.
That's
checking my email. You don't even know it. I'm
you
comparing.
could be receiving Facebook. You could be receiving Instagram messages. This is literally some of the first versions of what will happen here with this.
I could blink twice and hit record.
You'll be able to sit here and have a conversation with me, and without even looking down, like you'll be in a business meeting, without even looking down at your table or your phone, like it's so irritating sometimes.
See the contract.
You'll see that you're getting a message in your eyes, and you'll be able to see what kind of a message is based on the color of the cue. These are some of the rudimentary beginnings of it, and then it goes out from there into being able to see text, being able to see images through micro display. But the very earliest versions of it is going to be visual cueing, where you're able to see that something's happening, and you're looking straight at somebody. You're not looking down. You're not like a heads-up display in a.
Will they be illegal for athletes such as golfers?
Well, every technology, it's just like GPS. Golfers could benefit from GPS technology a long time ago, right? Like how far away the hole is,
Yeah, but that's not against the rules.
Well,
would a fucking bionic eye be against the rules, telling you better, like I look on the ground and it shows me, when you play the fucking Golf Clash game or whatever, dude, like I can shoot 60 on those games because it shows you. You get good at it. Like I could look down and tell the putter, shoot this way, this hard.
Yeah. Well, one of the things in this is you could have colored lights that appear for different distances. So if you're playing golf and you want to cheat your buddies, you have in the smart contact lenses that have a distance assigned for each color. Blue comes up, that's 50 yards out. Red comes up, that's these are just. I'm spitballing here, but yeah. There's applications like that. There's military applications for this, obviously.
Just for the note, Michael Hayes' number one idea was to cheat your buddies. You guys, and by the way, that'd probably be the number one selling reason. Everybody wants to cheat at golf. Why is that?
Well, I mean, I think what really turns people on is the ability, what makes technologies take off in the beginning, like the smartphone, is to be the first on the block to adapt it, and then it expands out from there to the mainstream. But there's always that group of people that want to be the first on the cutting edge of these new things, and that's what this will be too. People will early adopters of this technology, just like with Oculus and Magic Leap and HoloLens. Those great big, they're the brick mobile phones right now to the smartphone. Those huge, heavy things that people are wearing on their faces, the downsizing is what needs to happen. And the ultimate downsize is into the contact lens realm, which happens to be the most difficult realm because of the size that you're talking about.
Because it's discrete.
Yeah. Well, it's discrete. And so, future spy technology, there's going to be all kinds of applications where you're walking through an airport, and because of the communications that you have on your phone, the ability to detect people, facial recognition, there's so many possibilities with discreteness.
Now, at Inwith Corp on Facebook, at Inwith Corp on Twitter, at Inwith Corp on Instagram. But if they want to maybe invest or follow up with this conversation, inwithcorp.com?
Info@inwithcorp.com.
Shoot you an email?
That's the email. Or they can direct message us, DM on Twitter if they have an idea, shoot the shit like we've done here.
Dude, you're going to get a ton of people because, again, ideas are a dime a dozen. The question is can it be done? So, again, you've got the technology and the patents that can do it. Bausch and Lomb's coming in with the hydrogel. You didn't invent hydrogel.
No.
You've invented a way to infuse a power source into hydrogel. You've a number of things. But to me, the part I'm not getting is it just an idea now? Because as soon as somebody can give me a fucking lens that I can put in my eye and I can see shit like this, like digitally, like cyborg, I'm wearing them. Now,
it's coming.
The glasses, I might try those first, but guess what? They came out with like a Google Glass that was supposed to do something like that. What happened to those?
It was too, aesthetically, it was too...
pretentious?
It looked,
foolish?
They called them glass holes.
Ignoramus?
It was too obvious that you had a camera, and it was cumbersome looking. So when you walk in a room, you look like a cyborg wearing something. And I think Apple is probably going to come out with something that's more fashionable, a little more acceptable. But the problem is, even with that, you're still dealing with a pair of glasses, night and day, plus you're still dealing with prescriptions, you're still dealing with things. So I don't think that the contact lenses, it's just like, the CD versus direct download to your iPod. There's still people out there rocking CDs, just like there will be people rocking glasses of this stuff in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate version of it is, is invisible technology, where it's on your eyes or it's implanted in your body. This is the whole other thing. This is the whole other aspect of what we're talking about here is having your body and your senses. Now you get into the stuff you were talking about earlier with augmentation of bodily functions and, the side of things that you're speaking about as far as your lover, whatnot. All of the physical senses will be able to be enhanced in the future through electronics and smart technology.
They already can through lotion and lubricants.
Yeah. Well, that's that's chemical stuff, but I'm talking about actual physical things will be enhanced with this too, and your senses, your smell, taste, touch.
See, it's hard for me to do a normal dropping bombs episode when I have an intellect in the building, like a high intellect. I throw out stupid shit that's ruining the conversation, like, sex jokes, and you're talking about lattices and, corrective surgery and the complete and utter, annihilation of macular degeneration.
Macular degeneration.
Macular, what did I say?
Mackerel.
Oh, mackerel.
I think you're talking about fish.
Yeah, mackerel. It's macular.
There might be mackerel degeneration too.
I just didn't know if it would be, affecting the orbicularis oculi or the bicularis oris, anywhere around that area.
Whoa, you're blowing me away now, man.
But it would be a dangerous area to mess with, I would assume.
Well, what you're touching on there is actually true. The cornea, the cornea of your eye is in charge of 2/3 of the focus to your retina. Mm-hmm. The curvature of that cornea and the health of the cornea, right? I'm not an ophthalmologist, okay? I'm just going off of what I've learned from the experts that we've been working with.
From the experts and the
right.
what have you.
No, and so the bottom line is that you can't fuck with the cornea. And that's one of the reasons why you were telling me earlier about, well, why don't you just leave the lenses in overnight? The problem is you're dealing with biology here. So you leave things in overnight, there can be...
well, I want cyborg shit. Sew the motherfucker in for all I care.
Well, that, what you're touching on there is what's right now, there's a thing called intraocular lenses, which is, surgery for replacement of that crystalline lens that we were talking about, right?
Well, what about laser keratotomy?
We're hoping to totally disrupt that business and make it not be needed anymore.
I know a huge doctor by the name of Vance Hines, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Vance Hines.
He's going to hate me for saying what I just said.
Well, I know, but Vance Hines, who has a huge eye center, I think he's one of, if not the closest to who invented laser.
LASIK?
LASIK, I mean. Laser keratotomy, which is LASIK.
Yeah. LASIK.
He's the big time dude that literally almost started that. I told him, I said, I want to go get it. What would you tell me? We were at a vineyard in Napa. He said, what's the problem? I said, well, I need readers. He said, well, then I wouldn't get it. I'd just use readers. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't like wearing readers and I don't like not being able to see. He says, well, then just wear readers. But he's like, do not get LASIK until you're way old and all the things hit you at once, because once you do that once, you're done.
Right. And then, you know what? Then he's a good guy. He's a good doc, because that's the truth. And that's the thing. I was just going to say, there's too many. I heard advertisements for people doing $250 per eye. And, when you're messing with lasers in your eye that are sculpting, things.
Don't mess with your eyeballs, people.
You can only do it a few times, and then your eye's going to be completely fucked. So Dude,
I would be afraid to get it done with Vance Hines. In other words, he almost invented LASIK, and he has performed this procedure a zillion times and taught all the doctors how to do it across the country, and everybody's doing LASIK. Melissa's mom did LASIK. A lot of people do that. And by the way, if I was old, I'd go do it too. Why? You don't got much time left. But at the end of the day, he told me, do not until you are as old as you can stand without it, because you can only do it once. The guy that I wouldn't say he invented it, but damn near.
Well, millions of people have had it successfully done. There is a small number of people I've learned about that have a real problem with dry eye and with the actual subsequent months after they've had it done.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some really terrible cases of people that just literally couldn't stand it anymore because the dry eye that came from it. But that's an outlier.
Too late though.
It's an outlier.
Yeah, but it's too late. You don't undo it.
Well, it's to me, that's why the prophylactic version of putting a contact lens on your eye is the easy thing, because if the technology screws up in some way or isn't working right,
take it off.
Just take it off.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, I forgot to be bombing, but I'm gonna give you one.
Is that the first bomb?
It's the first actual verbal bomb, but
I was hoping that my showing you the fucking lens in your hands was going to be a bomb. Can I have a bomb for that?
Dude, the whole thing's a bomb.
Okay. All right. Now I'm happy.
Yep. Well, obviously, if you've heard the show at all, you know I get to decide what the fucking bombs are.
Am I the first person that just actually elicited a bomb from you?
No, you still didn't. I agree with you. So
Okay.
I gave you a bomb. Because again, if you guys can't see this on the video or the audio, he's got one of his prototype lenses. It's pretty cool. But again, like if I stuck it in my eye, it's just a piece of hydrogel with some squiggly shit in it, unless it goes like that's the part, like I don't get how that translates to that.
That squiggly shit is going to carry current that will power applications. That's what it is. So like when the computer was first invented, the home computer, when Jobs and Wozniak were screwing around in the garage, that all looked like squiggly shit.
But why can't the energy flow through the hydrogel? So as soon as the hydrogel inventor and maker says, fuck Mike and his squiggly shit, I'm making hydrogel carry current.
That exists.
Carry current.
Hydrogel.
What do you do?
Hydrogel that there is hydrogel out there that can be manipulated with temperature. By warming it, it can expand and contract like a muscle. There are hydrogels, but what is it that's going to? For instance, if you want to have a heart valve that functions the way your
like
normal heart valve, if you want to have a muscle in your heart,
like your auricle or ventricle,
yes, the third auricle of your heart. If you want to have a artificial muscle, or your dick, you want to have it be able to expand and contract.
You want your aorta working order.
Let's get into your area here. If you want to have your dick be able to expand and contract the way you want it to,
yes. Could you take out your iPhone and just?
Yes, that's the point.
Well, the problem is it could only be 6 inches because it wouldn't go any further than that.
That's folded though, right?
No, but
he doesn't get much.
I get it. But if I had an iPhone, imagine that you could like stretch the dick with the iPhone. Everybody'd be going off the screen the whole time. They'd be like, "Fucking here, let me see what this does." But it ends at the screen, which means you'd be stuck at 6 inches.
I hope you edit this shit out, man. The whole point is that...
Well, my thing is it hangs off the screen, see? And I don't edit. But you're not going to be able to share it with your esteemed colleagues in Silicon Valley.
You need to have David send you a pic that he sent me the other day of his thumbnail care. It's funny.
Thumbnail care? I bet you anything I know what it is. It's like just...
Let's put it this way. It's
trimming my nails, and then you see a big old dick in the background.
He's already seen it.
Come on, dude. Those are like memes.
Is that old?
Shit.
Is that old?
Yeah, those are old. I've been sending those for years. The funniest one is the one where you send the link and you say something like coronavirus in the Henderson neighborhood, and you live there, and you click the link, and it's that black dude sitting on the bed with the big old dick, but you can't get it off your phone. You got to literally like go to extremes to get him off your phone. It's hilarious. And then all we do is fuck with each other trying to get them to click that link. It'll be like, dude, bad article about you. And they reply, fuck you. I ain't doing it. And then like 5 minutes later, damn you. Listen, folks, if you want to go follow Michael Hayes and the Inwith Corporation, go to @Inwith Corp. If you guys want to invest, get a hold of them. info@Inwith. Inwith Corp. If you just want to follow him, dude, go to Instagram and hit him up. Tell him you're from the Bomb Squad and watch it unfold. No pun intended. Watch it unfold because, dude, that's going to go somewhere for a fact. Now, the question is someone going to kick your ass and make you obsolete? See, because that's the whole thing that I talk about every day here at Lightspeed. Just because people can't do what you do doesn't mean they can't fucking outdo what you do. So you gotta think like, we got a patent on this, dude. I'll change your patent. I'll make it better. Now what? Now you don't have a patent on that, do you? So just remember, folks, when you're building a business, just because people can't do what you do, it doesn't mean they can't outdo what you do, which is why what you should be doing every day is coming into work and kicking your own ass, trying to put yourself out of business. You know what I'm saying? And that at Inwith Corp. And by the way, you should hire me. Let's talk salary.
Okay.
Let's talk equity.
I want you on the staff.
Let's talk equity.
Yes, you've got a lot of good ideas.
Oh,
we'll put you in this.
I'll be the Steve Jobs of the whole thing. You
put
guys
you-
will kick me out. I'll be so
I'm
creative.
going to put you in the sex division.
No, dude. Come on, dude. My
No.
whole thing's ethics and integrity.
I think you have a future
I
in
ain't
the
a
sex
perv.
division.
I ain't a perv. I ain't even a hound dog, dude. That's what's crazy. A lot of guys are hound dogs. I ain't a hound dog. I can go home 2 weeks, not even think about it. Watch TV, dude. Game of Thrones was going. Shit, everything was going. There's some good shows going. I'll chill. And thankfully, he knows my girl. She's fucking chill too. So,
No,
because if I had a nympho, dude, I don't know if I'd like that. A nympho. Not every fucking 5 seconds. I wouldn't like that. So I don't want to be in the sex division, dude. I want to be in the fucking leadership division. CEO and driver of the technology, or at least chief sales officer.
I'll retire and you can.
Oh yeah, you're CEO. All right, make me chief marketing officer.
Okay.
Dave can answer to me.
Can Dave be your bitch?
Yes, Dave can answer to the chief marketing officer. No, I'm just joking. But it sounds like a company that's guaranteed to win, man. One of these days, I'm going to be calling you back here, and you're going to be like laughing, like, "No, dude, I'm not going to be on the Dropping Bombs fucking podcast. I'm over at fucking Elon's house, getting ready to show him how to fold his dick in half."
If you wanna get your mind blown, let's get David Marcus in here sometime with me.
Let's go.
The doctor, because he's the Wozniak to my marketing ability and my ability to get things going. He's a preeminent scientist in this area, and he's so smart, and some of the things that he can talk about in his experience in life is amazing, because he's really built he's built missile technology, he's built micro cameras, he's like real Tony Stark shit.
Dude, next time you're in town, stop by. We'll do another episode. I love it when I bring a higher level of discussion to Dropping Bombs. It's always, entrepreneurial based. This one's more, tech and gadget based. I love gadgets.
Yeah.
That's why I get excited, because are you kidding me, dude? If I could put those in my eyes and I could all of a sudden see just Google through my eyes, I'm happy. But I've never understood, what do you got to blink twice to stop recording? Even if I could record you, I got lenses and it's recording what I see. That's amazing to me.
Micro camera.
But that's amazing to me. So I'd put them in my eyes and I could walk up and say, "Hey, Dave," boom, blink. This conversation's being recorded. No wires, no nothing. What's being recorded? Everything I hear and see is being recorded when I blink my eyes. That's just cool shit.
It'll be commonplace in the future. And the thing you were talking about earlier with the replacement of you were saying, well, just plug it into my eye. Well, that literally is something that's coming in the sense of what's called the intraocular lenses, right? Intraocular is the replacement of that crystalline lens that you have in your eye right now. The one that firms up when you have presbyopia and makes it so you can't see close. Mm-hmm. That lens that gets replaced in cataract surgery all the time with an artificial lens, that's where the mechanical side that you're talking about that can be plugged in all the time will come. And our technology also works in that implant. That's an implant.
Oh, I thought you were going to say our technology will then wither and die.
No, that's part of our technology.
Yeah, but you got to keep innovating, dude. Keep innovating. I'm just telling everyone listening to this, I'm funny and I try to make you laugh, but at the end of the day, dude, people in 10 years, dude, that could be an old turd technology. Yes or no? Look at the brick phone, dude. Remember when the brick phone came out? It's like, fuck, those are sweet. Dude, now a brick phone is considered a turd. Now, I'm not saying that a brick phone manufacturer is still not the best phone maker on earth. That's called staying innovative. However, one day even though that's like no one's ever seen that, and that could get you freaking black helicopters finding you home in the future, that could be like, dude, that's like an old alarm clock that's got springs in it.
But you're about 10 or 15 or 20 years ahead of yourself. What we are the advancement and replacement for the heavy things that people are wearing on their face now, putting it into the small stuff. The only way that this technology gets outdone is if there becomes materials that are superior to hydrogels for the eyes. And that's not something that's really on the horizon, because
Eye condoms.
it's really become, the prophylactic condom on your eye, which is a contact lens. It's really, the technology is pretty much at its peak right now. There's not really much on the horizon that outdoes hydrogels. So to be able to put electronics in silicone hydrogel, it's a bomb dropper. There you go.
Michael Hayes, thank you for coming in. As always, Mr. Riedel, appreciate you bringing him by. I know he's an out of towner. He's from up in Utah. Dude, I'd love to have the David back. Let me know next time you're in town.
He's in Irvine, California, so we can bring him in.
Folks, go hit this guy up, follow him on social media, and as always, keep it real.